Hi, welcome to Simply Scuba. In this session we're going to have a look at the Scubapro Mk17 R395 Regulator. This first stage then, it's Scubapro's Mk17. It has a TIS system on it, which is TIS, Thermal Insulation System. This basically means that these fins take the cold of the compressed air, and with the warmth of the water, no matter how cold the water is, it's warmer than the compressed air. It basically heats the first stage to stop or to try and limit any ice forming within the regulator. This particular first stage has 2 high pressure ports and 4 low pressure ports. Of the low pressure ports, the 2 top ones, or bottom ones depending on the orientation of the first stage, are marked as HFP, which is high flow port, and they're the ports you should use for your second stages if you can. It's not a big problem if you don't, but they're obviously got slightly higher airflow through them. This particular version is a DIN, obviously comes in A-clamp as well. The orientation of the first stage doesn't really matter. You can have it either way up. There's no difference in performance. Obviously the Mk17 being a diaphragm is good for use in dirty or colder water, because obviously being a diaphragm, the water, external water, is sealed away from the internal workings of the regulator. If we now move on to look at the second stage, the second stage is Scubapro's standard R395. The R395 has been around now for several years, recently updated, has a soft cover on the front for your purge. It's nice and easy to use. You have a venturi with a dive, pre-dive switch on the side. Now basically how this works is when it's in pre-dive mode, that's twisted to the back, there's a baffle on the inside of the regulator. The air comes into the regulator and then is fired up towards the mouthpiece. When you have the baffle in the pre-dive mode setting, that baffle is basically closed, so it's directing the air away from the mouthpiece and back towards the diaphragm and the faceplate of the regulator. So if you drop it in the water this way round, it's unlikely to cause a free flow, because the air will be forced towards the front of the regulator to close off the demand. As soon as you go into dive mode, you just turn forward, easily done with bare fingers or with gloved fingers. That baffle is then readjusted to bounce the air back in towards the mouthpiece. Just means that the breathing effort is much easier when it's in the dive mode. On the rear of the second stage, you've got Scubapro's Comfy Fit mouthpiece. You have a reusable clip to attach the mouthpiece to the regulator. The bubble deflectors, compact, nicely tucked away under the regulator. A really good regulator.